Well, next up, a very bullish call on Tesla. Now, shares are in the green today after Morgan Stanley raised its bullish case on the stock to $500 a share. But to get there, analyst Adam Jonas says that the Cybertruck needs to become a success. And then he also mentioned the fact that sales in China have to pick up pace. Dan Roberts is back with me. And Dan, he's very bullish in his bull case scenario, saying that it could reach $500 a share, but he's not saying buy right now, because I guess that's because Tesla probably has a lot to do in order to get there.
Well, so he's not saying right now, but he is saying more shorter term than long term. I thought this was really interesting. This analyst, who is known to be a big Tesla bull, one of the earliest Tesla bulls, which means already you have to take this bullish note with a grain of salt. And then he clarifies, to be clear, we are not bullish on Tesla longer term, especially as over time we believe Tesla could be perceived by the market more and more like a traditional auto OEM. That to me was very interesting. That is original equipment manufacturer, meaning not very sexy, the companies that have been around forever that everyone knows, the auto names. And that's fascinating to me because I think we are seeing that, you know, whether you want to give credit for Tesla as being the biggest trailblazer in EVs, the other guys are coming. And the other guys are all working on their own EVs, and the other guys have much more experience, years of knowing how to manufacture cars. That, to me, is the interesting Tesla push and pull right now. Yes, you still have the big bulls who are obsessed with Tesla and Elon Musk. They worship at the cult of Musk. But, you know, if you are a regular person who's not an Elon Musk or Tesla fanboy, and you decide that you're interested in a luxury electric vehicle, in just a couple years, soon enough, Tesla's not going to be the only hot option. I mean, BMW is going to have one, and you know, Mercedes and all these different companies are going to have an EV. So that will be a headwind for Tesla eventually. Now, this bullish note also highlights the Gigafactory in China, as you said. So they think things are going to go well with that. Cybertruck, another thing that is mentioned in this note. But that has also been a little bit of something that has been pulled apart since the initial reports. You know, Elon Musk tweeted out and said we have 250,000 pre-orders for the Cybertruck. Well, guess what a pre-order is? A $100 refundable deposit. That means nothing. That doesn't mean that person is going to buy one, obligated to buy one.
Well, and also they could run into the same problems with the Cybertruck as they did with the Model 3. They had so many production issues, delays. People were waiting years to get their hands on their vehicles. So there is a possibility that that could happen again with the Cybertruck.
Right. You want to put down $100 on a truck that doesn't come out till 2021. By the way, we were showing some of the B-roll from the humorous infamous demo where he said, you know, let's shoot a metal ball bearing at the windows and it won't crack. Oh, it cracked.
And he threw it.
But then he said, well, it didn't go through, at least. But man, I encourage viewers to watch the video with the original audio because you hear loudly Elon Musk's uncut verbal reaction. And so clearly he did not expect this. I think there's got to be a significant number of people who put down the $100 deposit because that's kind of fun. Oh, look, I put a deposit on the Cybertruck. It's $100. So there are even some outlets, not Yahoo Finance, that have come out and said, we're not going to call these pre-orders. Because the term pre-order is just too generous.
Well, I mean, and he's doing something that he has been successful in doing in the past. It's all just to generate hype. So you generate all this hype about these new vehicles. You only make people put down $100. You're going to get a lot more people signing up for a potential Cybertruck, a lot more people talking about it, which in the end, there's question marks because we don't really know materially what this could mean.
Yeah, and this note says, okay, let's assume that it sells 100,000, which is still fewer than the number that Musk has said pre-ordered. You know, at 50,000 bucks a pop on average, that's a significant infusion of capital. So that would be a bull case. But I don't know, even if they sold 50,000 of these things, I think people would and should be impressed. Oh, look, here's video where it doesn't break. Okay, maybe they brought it back to the lab. But I will say, because we've spent most of this segment saying the but on the other hand, I will say, Tesla has really bounced back this year from May or so when it was, I mean, it dropped like crazy. Now for the year, it's up 8%. But man, it had dropped down off a cliff in like May and June.
It had. We had the 3-month chart up not too long ago.
It has in the end
year to date,
salvaged
it shows it shows salvaging its year. But over the last 3 months, the stock has climbed almost 50%. Ooh. Perspective. All right, Dan Roberts.
500 would be quite a bull case.
It will be, yes.